Please welcome to the blue corner for your next fight, Jheh Chow.
Another good victory there. Good finish. That was impressive.
Yeah, man, and then like props to Menard, the ref. He gave the fighter every chance to recover, but man, Robles was just on him. I mean, he was on him with accurate ground and pound. We got Jheh Chow here from Black Sheep Boxing. Really cool story behind their gym. They use martial arts as a recovery program to get guys back on a healthy lifestyle. When people use martial arts to reform, you know, a tough past, that's maybe my favorite aspect of what martial arts has been used for. There's so many positive, healthy lifestyle changes guys can add by living the martial arts life. And again, it's just one of my favorite aspects of, you know, what mixed martial arts and what martial arts can do.
Yeah, you love to hear those type of stories as Chow makes his way into the blue corner now. Let's meet his opponent.
Please welcome to the red corner, Camden Fontenot.
Yeah, Camden's a guy I know well. You know, another guy who trains at War. They have so many good amateurs and pros. I'm over there training with them all the time. And, you know, Cam does well. He's got an incredibly powerful wrestling credentialed resume. He's used his wrestling very well. I know he's taken a little time in between fights to improve just in all areas. But, you know, he's an experienced just martial artist with his wrestling and his MMA work as well. You know, he's fighting, you know, Jheh Chow, who's 2-1. This will be a fun, competitive fight.
Yeah, you said it took a little time off his last fight in October of 2021. So we could see a completely new, completely developed fighter here this afternoon. Both of these fighters, 2-1. So both have the same amount of experience, same amount of cage time, basically. So another good one set to go here. We got a little grease in the hair, got to take care of that.
The old grease in the hair trick. No, I'm just kidding. That was accidental.
All right, Fontenot making his way into the red corner now. There's your tail of the tape.
Yeah, bright future for both of these guys. Prospects for sure.
Let's take it into cage for our official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest brought to you by SheathUnderwear.com is scheduled for 3 rounds in the Fury Amateur Series Bantamweight Division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. Representing Black Sheep Boxing, he stands 5 feet, 9 inches tall, and he weighed in officially at 134.6 pounds. Fighting out of Austin, Texas, he holds an amateur record of 2 wins, only 1 defeat. This is Jheh Chow! And introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. Representing the War Training Center in Houston, Texas, he stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, and he weighed in at 137.2 pounds. Fighting out of Houston, Texas, he too holds an amateur record, 2 wins, only 1 defeat. This is Camden Fontenot. Your referee in charge, Steve Armstrong.
Steve Armstrong on duty once more, getting these fighters ready to go, and we're underway.
Let's see.
We got Fontenot in the red. We're gonna have Chow in the blue gloves.
Yeah, Cam putting some pressure on early. You can just look in his eyes. He's super freaking dialed in, laser focused. He got his hands together. We're gonna see a finish.
Big dump here. Yes. Chow doing a great job though, recovering the closed guard.
You see Cam kind of picking him up and slamming it. Actually got the guard open.
Yeah, walking him right into his corner, which is always an advantage to have there.
Man, you can just see the pressure of Cam on top. His coach is calling for forehead pressure from inside the guard. That's a great way to get the spine really long. It really makes articulation on submissions almost impossible. See if we can see Cam maybe progress into the half guard position. I mean, they're dry, they're fresh. This is not where Chow wants to be early in this fight.
Yeah, Fontenot in control early on in this first round. He's got Chow smashed against the cage right there in his corner, getting supreme advice. Coach not even having to raise his voice at all.
Yeah, it's ideal. I mean, look at that. Look at the head pressure. You know, you can always tell, you know, a good grappler from a great grappler by how they use their head and in how they pressure with any post they can. That's one thing I've heard about Gordon Ryan is he's able to like just post and pressure with any part of his body, and it just feels like 1,000,000 pounds. See Chow kind of looking for a triangle, but man, in modern MMA those can be hard to lock up. Granted, we saw one earlier, but they were both debuters. Both these guys are far from debuters. Cam's got to be, I mean, now the leg is over.
Now, yeah.
He's got to get his head out, and he elects to stand up. I mean, that was really intelligent troubleshooting there, and it had to happen immediately. See Cam in on a body lock.
A little belly-to-back suplex here.
Nice.
Impressive.
Everyone loves a suplex. I don't care who you are.
Yeah,
Suplexes are fan-friendly.
Yeah, that's always a joy to watch, that belly-to-back, that big arching suplex like that. Very effective, too. You see now Fontenot found his way to the back, looking to see if he can score from here, maybe get some hooks in, go for some sort of choke.
And then when you get guys who did wrestle in college, they're just so used to this grind. I mean, I'm sure Cam has had hundreds of wrestling matches where they're tiring, and he's just used to it. Like, did the wrestlers get tired? Yeah, but they don't care. They'll just keep fighting hard. If you get a non-wrestler, they're not used to it.
It's the thing about, I used to always say that wrestlers in high school sports are the hardest working athletes in a school, because every other sport you have a burst of time, of energy, and then there's a break. Football, there's a play, and then there's a break.
Yeah.
Basketball, there's a shot, and then there's a jog back. There's a break. In wrestling, you go hard the whole round, start to finish, until the next one.
And
10 seconds left here in this round.
And beyond that, you know, you can have a dynamite performance and your team can mess up. Whereas in MMA or wrestling, it's straight up
it's all you. Yes, sir.
A little reversal there from Chow with about a second left, but I mean, that's a Cam round.
Yeah, I was going to give Cam that round for sure. Dominating from the very get-go. Jam Chow against the corner over here, was doing a little bit of scoring from the top. Chow doing a good job threatening from the bottom, able to go for a couple triangle attempts there. Nothing really of significance, but I believe the wrestling obviously powerful and effective. I see a little chuckle, maybe the eyes there of Fontenot. Yeah,
he was just laser focused. He
Absolutely.
Had a really nice little hand-connected double leg dump. You see it again here, big dump there from Cam. Stands up out of the triangle, very intelligent timing there. And we're about to see this belly-to-back suplex. There it is. I mean, a huge arch.
Just real cool to see that level of grappling, that level of wrestling.
It's such an abnormal motion to watch a human go through. I think that's why they're so fun to watch.
Not an easy technique to pull off either.
Oh, no. And you got to not hit your own head.
Exactly.
That's a big part of it, too.
All right, looks like these guys are ready to go into our next round here. Referee waiting for the cage doors to get locked up, and here we go. See if we can spend some more time on the feet, and just as I say, there's a shot there from Fontenot. Once more with a big dump.
It's funny, you know, a lot of guys will use punches to set up a shot. Cam used the shot to set up a shot. He shot just to get close, and then he just chain wrestled right to a body lock.
Shoot, reshoot scenario.
Hit us with another beautiful dump.
Finds himself in the top side control of Chow this time, staying clear away from the closed guard. See if he can do any damage here. Maybe lock himself, I was going to say, into a half guard here, which is essentially the same position top and bottom, but very effective to score from in a top position.
So, like, I mean, I'm a guard recovery guy myself, but when you're fighting a wrestler, you can't recover guard because you're effectively holding them on top of you.
Chow recovers the closed guard, looking to threaten some sort of submission from his back once more.
What you need is from, like, side control or half is to catch an underhook, build a base, and just fly up to your feet. I mean, I know it's tough. But, and like, hunting the triangles is cool. Going for it, but I mean, as the fight goes on and they're both getting sweaty and fatigued.
Yeah, the percentage on those is going to diminish pretty significantly of being successful. I mean, the more sweat, the greasier you get, you know, the more fatigued your limbs get. It's going to be a little harder to lock those things up.
Yeah, and I know Cam, he trains with the guys at War. You know, you got 35 champ Hayden Bryars. You got, you know, Josh Altum. These guys are all good fighters off the back. Cam has seen, you know, every triangle set up in the book. Especially being a wrestler, wrestlers got to be acute to triangle and guillotine defense as they're direct counters to certain shots and pressures.
Yeah, being so resourceful with the head pressure as well. You could typically get caught leaning or driving into things, and, you know, obviously doing such a good job eliminating the triangle attempts right here. He's, you know, like you said, he's probably seen every setup in the book. But Chow, He's staying mobile. He's moving. You see him using his butterfly hooks here, trying to elevate, trying to get the sweep. But Fontenot just here with a minute left in the round, so sticky, so heavy on top.
You know, and that's a risk Chow had to take. Like, yeah, he just gave up some back exposure, but he either, you know, loses sitting in guard, or he can maybe try to win and get up in the risk of exposing his back. Now, Cam did jump on his back, but I do believe this is progression from Chow. And this is tough. This is one of those things, like, everyone knows what to do, but can you do it physically and technically? It's just demanding.
Especially with someone resisting against you and trying everything in their power to prevent you from doing those things. It's easier when you're doing it against a non-competing opponent or a drilling partner, but here in live action, after a tough first round already, getting the brain to click with the body is sometimes difficult.
It just takes practice. I tell people all the time, it takes practice to compete, and I don't mean practice in the gym. I mean practice in the cage or on the competition mats.
10 seconds left here in this round. Yeah.
There's just a pace and an emotion you have to become familiar with.
Have to get your repetitions. All right, that takes us to the end of that second round. We're going to head into our third round. Another close one. You know, a lot of these amateur fights like this typically go down in this fashion until the third round. Pretty close first and second round. In that third round, we start to see one guy take over. One significant instance will happen, or a takedown or something like that. But I think Fontenot, with this wrestling ability, I think he's going to continue doing what he's doing, and we have to see something in that dramatic fashion from Chow to get the difference maker. Yeah,
Cam has gotten this fight to the ground within maybe 15 seconds of the first and second round, and he's just been riding him out. I mean, I got Cam up easy 2 rounds on this one. And Chow, again, kind of like a fight we watched 2 fights ago, we haven't really seen him do much, and it's because Cam is able to implement his wrestling game plan so thoroughly.
Throwing up a few submission attempts, but nothing really locked in, nothing really of significance to sway in the judges' favor. I think probably solid 2-0. We're going to have to see some urgency here and see if Chow can get a finish somehow, because I think that may be the way for him to win.
I mean, yeah, I don't see him winning a decision here.
It's all unofficial, of course.
You know, Chow threw a right hand, and it was pretty good, but, man, Cam met it with a nice little lead hook. Chow with a good high kick.
And you see Fontenot just once more with the superior grappling ability. I mean, he's got the takedown and right around to the back. You see another dump coming here.
You know, we saw that shot, and Cam cut a 180-degree angle. And that's just good wrestling right there.
Chow did a great thing on that one. He didn't get the belly-to-back suplex because Chow was able to hook his leg around the back side of the knee of Fontenot, kind of anchored himself in that position. So you saw Fontenot let go of it and transition into, obviously, some more chain wrestling here. Now we see a little reversal.
This is a rough spot to be in. Cam's got to pop his head up the backside. His coaches are calling for it. If Chow can figure for his legs under the arm, he can hit this rear triangle. There's some shoulder crunches from there, some good strikes. Cam needs to get busy scrambling now. He's in a bad spot. We already know Chow likes the triangle. Like, if you're Cam, you got to, like, eject your head backwards. He's using the knee as a wedge, but I'm telling you, the more space that gets collected, the worse for him.
You can see the feet of Chow trying to create this triangle underneath there.
I think he's got to figure for this. This is a tough one. There's an arm bar. There's a little shoulder crunch.
Exposed.
You were calling for a sub. I mean, these are rough.
It looks like we have an arm bar pretty sunk in here. Fontenot really hopping over the top.
The figure 4 is busted, but if Chow can get either his legs figure forward, then he'll be back in it. Cam's got to clear that elbow. He's got to clear his elbow. Here's coaches calling everything we're talking about. And, man, Cam reverses it. That was deep.
That was the most significant attempt for Chow by far, for sure. That was a pretty deep arm bar. He had a triangle set up there, but I think that arm bar was fairly deep for a moment.
Yeah, it was. Man, it's funny, on those rear triangle arm bars, they really attack the shoulder and the pec muscle. It's such a weird little pull.
A lot of torque being applied to that capsule for sure. See Chow trying to make his way to the corner here, to the cage rather, and get up right here in front of his corner.
You see Cam gets full back exposure. I think he should keep the body lock, dig both hooks, and then attack the choke.
Elects to fall over with one hook in, go to the back control. 30 seconds left in the fight.
He's got full back hooks in.
Coach is calling for the face crank, choke his face.
Yeah, with my MMA guys, anytime I do jiu-jitsu with them, if I'm on their back, I will straight up rear naked choke their face. And I'm like, hey, your opponent's going to do this too, so get used to it. Or don't get your back taken. Those are your options.
10 seconds left. Yeah, those are your only options, right? Fontenot on top here, going to end this fight in a dominating position. As most of the fight had gone. Great job by both these gentlemen. But the takedowns, the wrestling seemed to be the difference maker here in this one.
Yeah, this seems like a pretty clear-cut 29-28 Cam. I mean, we'll see. You know, we did see some cool stuff from Chow. That little scramble to the rear triangle was cool. I mean, it was a cool, like, creative bit of offense as he was down. And then, you know, props on Cam for surviving that very dangerous scenario.
I think a lot of those submission attempts came from a scenario where he just had to accept the fact that he was on bottom and couldn't get out.
Yeah.
So I might as well do something from here. Just a, kind of a testament to the control of Fontenot in these wrestling situations. See this, that was that deep moment there where he had that scenario going for the arm.
And Cam was wedging with his knee really well. I mean, that made it hard for Jheh to figure four anything.
It's like gathering up our referee's decision here. Gonna get these lined up, get these guys lined up. That was a fun one. Enjoyed watching that one for sure.
Yeah.
See our ring announcer grabbing the decision, making his way up the stairs into the cage right now. And we'll have that delivered in just a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of combat, we go to the judges' scorecards for your decision. Brought to you by Space City Collective. Scores of 30-27, 30-27, and 29-28. Your winner by unanimous decision, Camden Fontenot.
Yeah, Camden Fontenot picking up the unanimous decision. We anticipated that would happen. That wrestling just so superior.
Yeah, it was good. And man, 2 judges still gave him the third despite that triangle. That's just going to show how good his top control time was.
Now we're going to have 2 title fights, starting off with a 115-pound women's title and then a 155-pound men's title. We'll take it into Wayne here. We'll meet the first of our women's title challenger.